What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of 2 a.m. in Sweden. I am your host for today, Hayes at AO Shifty. It's going to be me this week. So, for anyone that is looking for Steven, he should be back next week. We're going to work on trying to figure out which day will end up working out the best. Couple of things that I just want to talk about on today's episode. Number one, I do want to end up bringing up what is going on in the NFL. That's one thing. What's also happened in the WNBA, they end up reporting some things over on that side of the front in terms of revenue. I want to go over the NBA standings as well. So this might only be 15 minutes, but it's quality content that I think that'll be helpful for everybody out there. Tomorrow's episode will be a lot more. We'll dive into what's been going on, what are a couple of things that we need to look for going forward. I'll also have the drink of the week on that episode too. Just getting started with everything, I do have to give big congratulations to Mike Tirico. A lot of people probably know who Mike Tirico is. He's starting to get his due because of the Super Bowl, hosting the Olympics. He knows his stuff, and that's really why I wanted to bring that one up. So just want to start off, say congrats to Mike Tirico, everything he's been doing over on NBC and Peacock. So he's had a couple of good events that he's been the main one for, and he's handled them well. So congratulations to him on that side. Going over to, we'll go to the WNBA, and then we'll swing it over into the NFL, and then finish with the NBA, and then a special prize that I have. So congrats to everyone in the WNBA. Me personally, I've loved watching Unrivaled. A lot of time, although Chelsea girl, you got to chill out, girl, with your shit that you were doing. The WNBA generated enough revenue in 2025 to prompt revenue sharing with its players for the first time in history. And that's reported by Katie Barnes. So solid source. All 13 WNBA teams will receive a total of $8 million to disperse among players. Congrats to them on that one. That's always just a big thing. I know that's been the ongoing topic of conversation. Are the players in the WNBA, should they be getting more money than what they do? This does show, and I still agree, continue to do it year over year, just continue to monitor it and then do the revenue sharing. So congrats on that side. Next story we have, we're going to go into the NFL. Two things on the Falcons front, because the Falcons are in the news. Bro, Kirk Cousins, get your bag. I don't care. You're getting released. That's fine. The amount of money he's made from the Commanders to the Vikings to the Falcons, just dumb money, certain teams, and he hasn't even won a Super Bowl. Just imagine that. But these quarterbacks get paid dumb money only in sports, as Steve and I always say. He made $100 million during his 2 seasons over there. Again, you see my comment here. Generational wealth. He can go anywhere, be a solid backup if he wants to. He might be able to start some places. He's going to have a gig in NFL as an NFL analyst once he ends up deciding to retire somewhere. He's come back off of tough injuries too. So credit to him. Next one, because this impacts me some, because some people were predicting he might end up going out there and testing the waters and going to Philly. That's not happening at all. 2 players I do want to bring up. Number one is Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts is probably going to be franchise tagged, which is disappointing when some of these players want to be able to test out the market. So Kyle Pitts probably will not be on the market. Another one is George Pickens. George Pickens, they're saying the Cowboys are probably going to franchise tag him as well. Also, one of the top free agents that I don't think he's going to get franchise tagged is going to be Isaiah Likely for the Baltimore Ravens. I believe he's a tight end one wherever he wants to go. If you're in fantasy football and your team does not have a tight end, they pick up Isaiah Likely, definitely draft him. I wouldn't say first, second round or third round draft him, but your mid rounds between, I would say 5 to 8, maybe 5 to 9. He's going to be gone by 8 or 9. I'll let you know that right now, depending on the situation that he does go to. He's great. If he falls past your draft to 9, 10, 11, consider yourself having a big steal. And I know this is a big thing I'm saying out there, but if he goes to a situation where they do not have a tight end one already and they pick him up and their quarterback situation is good and they have a solid offensive coordinator, Isaiah Likely is going to flourish there. We just saw what he did when Mark Andrews wasn't playing, or even we saw what he did when Mark Andrews was playing. Next thing that I want to bring up in terms of the NFL Scouting Combine has officially kicked off. It started, so Sunday, the place kickers, D-line, and linebackers came into town on February 2nd. On February 3rd, yesterday, Place kickers, D-line, and linebackers had the registration, pre-exam, orientation, team interviews. They got that out the way, and then DBs and tight ends arrived into town. So now February 24th, you have for the place kickers, DL, defensive linemen, and linebackers, you have your pre-ordered studies, medical exam, team interviews, and then tight ends and DBs. Tight ends and DBs, they're doing basically what the place kickers, defensive linemen, and linebackers did. So team interviews, orientation. Running backs, quarterbacks, and wideouts arrive into town on the 24th. So today, they're going to do registration, orientation, and team interviews today. And then it really starts to kick off on the 25th. So they'll do the kicking workouts. They'll have their meetings, team interviews, again, more exams. But the kicking workout is going to be for the place kickers, and all the other ones are essentially doing their pre-stuff. The days that you all care about are going to be Thursday into March 2nd. So February 26th to March 2nd, the place kickers and the defensive linemen and the linebackers still do their measurements and on-field workouts. Bench press for the defensive linemen and linebackers is going to be February 27th, and then they depart. Same thing, it just goes down the order. So Thursday is going to be your defensive linemen and linebackers. Friday is going to be your DBs and tight ends. They're going to be working out. And then on Saturday, you're going to have your on-field workouts for the running backs, quarterbacks, and wide receivers. That's important. I'm going to be in the middle of doing various different things on Saturday, but I'm definitely going to try and check that out. And then offensive linemen will have theirs on Monday, and then they will be bench pressing. Offensive linemen will have theirs on Sunday, and we'll be bench pressing on Monday. So the main ones, if you care about the bench press, pay attention to Friday, February 27th, and March 2nd on Monday, because that's going to be your big boys doing those. So if you like that, cool. It's going to be tons of reps that they're going to be getting on that side of the fence. You're looking for your skill positions. Your big days you're going to look at are probably February 27th and February 28th. So pay attention to those. That's going to be your DBs and tight ends and your running backs, quarterbacks, and wide receivers. Do not just look for speed. You want to see how they do in and out of the cone drills. You want to see how they do in terms of having to change direction, shuffling their feet, moving their hips, depending on the position that you're looking at over there. And then you also want to see in the trenches when it comes to the big guys, how they end up handling getting up and down as quick as possible there too. So 40-yard dash is good, but if you've noticed recently, a lot of the players that finish first in the 40-yard dash, they're not necessarily going to be your prime time player. I'm saying this because like John Ross is a good example that some people have brought up in recent years. I know Xavier Worthy's different. Xavier Worthy was a speed demon, and look what he's still doing over there. But if you have a mixture of height and then speed, and then you have great hands that you show out there, and you do well in all your drills, you're going to do better than someone that's just a speed demon. Chris Johnson is an extreme exception because Chris Johnson was amazing. CJ2K is why he got the name for that one. So we'll talk about that next week. I'll bring it up. I'll probably bring more of it up tomorrow because on the 25th, we will just have the kicking workout. So not much, but we will have more information in terms of what is going on at some of these different meetings. Of course, you have all the various different shit that they end up saying of, oh, this player's fallen in the draft because he wasn't talking to them correctly. So all that'll be handled that day. All the coaches and GMs will get to choose who they want to end up talking to, have discussions on. College basketball side of things, two things that I want to bring up over there. If you all remember last year, there was a guy named Amir Khan. Let me, if I can bring this up quick enough for you guys, just so you all know what I am talking about. I think it's this one. Yeah. So the young homie over here, this is what they were doing last year. He's back. He was at NC State. He went with his coach, but he ended up coming back to McNeese. They're saying various different reasons why he ended up going back to McNeese. My guy has 12,000 followers off of basically this stuff. And shout out to any NIL money that he's getting. But that's the one thing I wanted to bring up on that side. The other part that I do want to talk about is the Kansas game last night. So Kansas-Houston, Kansas went to work. They won by 13 points. He is still undefeated, Bill Self. So congrats to him on that one. And the other big-time game that happened yesterday was North Carolina against Louisville. North Carolina won by 3. They are 22-6. Louisville now is 20-8. They're both in the ACC. The Big 12 games, Kansas is now 21-7, and Houston is 23-6. Sorry, 23-5. Couple of things I do want to talk about. Darren Peterson did play. He played 30 minutes. He had 14 points. He was 5 of 14 from the field. Trey White had 23 points. Kingston Fleming, he had 16 points, 6 of 18 from the field on that side. Now going into our final story that I do want to talk about is going to be the NBA. The Detroit Pistons have the second best record in the league. The OKC Thunder are 44-14. Detroit Pistons are 42-14. Looking ahead, still, San Antonio Spurs are really, really good, 41-16. But all this doesn't matter right now. It's what happens in the playoffs. And a couple of things. For one, I have special interest in what's going to go on with the Houston Rockets. 35-21. They're currently sitting in third place. Are they going to make the playoffs? Yeah, they should stay above the Lakers and the Timberwolves. Lakers are probably going to chill in that fifth spot. What I would love to see is KD and LeBron go at it for a 7-game series. I would love for the Rockets to come out of it. Then LeBron's probably going to leave, go to Cleveland. I'll bring that up more tomorrow or so. Next thing is the Timberwolves. They've just been floating around. Good for them. As long as they don't go to 7 through 10, they're good. Clippers, I don't know what they're doing, but the Clippers, if they can all stay healthy, the Clippers and the Warriors can take those spots. I don't really believe in the Phoenix Suns. 1 through 10, let me list it. Thunder, Spurs, Rockets, Nuggets, Lakers, Timberwolves. 7 through 10, Suns, Warriors, Trailblazers, Clippers. I don't believe in the Trailblazers, and I'm just going to say that right now. I'm sorry. Not this year, maybe next year. Suns, yes, I see them being able to put up a fight. Clippers, if Kawhi can stay healthy and do what he needs to do in the playoffs, they can win the game, and it could be the Warriors and the Clippers that end up playing the Thunder and the Spurs. You do really want that spot against the Spurs. You want to see if you can test them. On the other side of the fence, you have 1 through 10, Pistons, Celtics, Knicks, Cavaliers, Raptors, Sixers, 7 through 10, Magic, Heat, Hawks, Hornets. I don't believe in the Hornets. Really, sorry, not yet. Hawks, I don't really know about. So it's probably going to be the Magic and the Heat that are going to pull through with that one. But we'll see as it just continues to go down the list. Pistons will have to play one of them. I believe in the Pistons at least to get through 2 rounds, but the Celtics, as long as they're around and Tatum comes back, Brown's having an amazing season, you cannot count them out. The Cavs, if they can just float around here, there you go. The big thing to look at is going to be who is not tanking but does not have the best record. Wizards, Nets, Pacers, Pelicans, Kings are the ones to watch for. They're thinking the Kings are going to get the 1 spot. We will see how that ends up happening. That's mainly really what I wanted to do a rundown of. So today's a short show. Tomorrow will be the main show that we end up talking about things. But this is just a quick overview of what's going on. Tomorrow, we'll give more in depth on it. I'll explain a lot of the things I went over today. But I appreciate you guys, as always, for just staying with us, tuning in. I will talk about this bot that I've been creating to help me with Polymarket betting tomorrow. Till next time, we out.